Morning VC. It's 5 o'clock on Monday morning, so if I'm a little bit dozy as I do this, I do apologise, but I haven't been able to put anything out just because of time constraints due to work recently, so I wanted to get something out. Heading off to Amsterdam later this week for about a week for a beer festival, so I wasn't going to get an opportunity next weekend to put anything out, so I thought I'd better get something out today. Just a quick one-ish of some new pickups I've picked up. Most of these have come from eBay, just minimum bid wins. I tend not at the moment to put anything on other than a minimum bid. If it comes up, it comes up. But we'll just see what happens. Let's see what we've got. Right, out through these. First one up, Wasted. This is Vices. This is Wasted's first album, came out in 1983 on the Chrysalis label. This was a offshoot of UFO, who at the time were my favourite band. So Paul Raymond and Pete Way from UFO got together with Finn Muir, vocalist, produced this. It's a great album, absolutely love it. Got Robbie Clayfield on guitar and Frank Noon of sort of Def Leppard fame on drums. He was the chap who stood in for what's his face? Rick. I can't remember. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Anyway, he stood in for him. It's a great album, just sort of straight up sort of 80s rock, definite sort of British slant to it. Finn's got one of those brilliant voices. Very sort of bluesy, rough around the edges. For those of you who know the TV series The Office, Finn was the chap who did the cover of Handbags and Glad Rags on that, so that gives you some idea of his vocal style. Excellent album though, just great, straight ahead British rock. Saw them on tour a couple of times. I think the first time I saw them, they were supporting Dio, and that would either have been, I want to say the Holy Diver tour, but it might very well have been Last in Line. I just cannot remember. But it was one of those two tours. Might even have been both. But great live band. Really enjoyed them. So, next couple are things that I've picked up because I think I mentioned in my VC introduction that I quite often didn't have stuff because other people would have had it. You know, I would have taped it off them just because I couldn't afford to buy all the stuff that I wanted. So my brother had a load of Hawkwind stuff. I used to buy all the Rush stuff. Graham used to buy all the Hawkwind stuff. So I've slowly been picking up all the Hawkwind things just to get that all sorted. So I picked up a couple more of them. Again, just minimum bids on eBay. So I'll start with this one. This is the first compilation album from 1975. This is Roadhawks. Great track list, so it runs kind of sort of chronologically. So you've got tracks off the first album in Hurry On Sundown and Paranoia, although it's not the full Paranoia track, it is an edit. And then You Shouldn't Do That, which first appeared on the second album, In Search of Space, but this is actually a version of Space Ritual, the live album, which came out a little bit later. Then you've got two singles, Silver Machine and Urban Gorilla, then Space is Deep from Do Re Mi, and then you get into Warrior on the Edge of Time stuff. This is not the original release. This is a Fame release from the mid-80s. But I think I paid 99 pence for it, so I wasn't too bothered. It's in great nick. The original came with a poster, which I don't think the Fame one did, and there's nothing in there. So I'll be on the lookout for a good copy of the original with a decent price, but for 99 pence, that'll do me for the moment. Thanks very much. Next, we come to probably my second favourite Hawkwind album. This is Quark, Strangers and Charm. This came out in 1977 and followed a rather tumultuous time in the band's history. Just before the album was recorded, co-founder Nick Turner was sacked along with Paul Rudolph, and it was basically a power struggle between Dave Brock and Nick Turner, and Dave Brock was always going to win that one. It's very much a Bob Calvert album, this one. Bob's sort of sci-fi lyrics predominate, and they actually do a report about the band, so it talks about the sacking of Nick Turner, etc., and the debt problems. But and then you've got lyrics on the other side. It's a brilliant album. It's on the Charisma label. Again, it's an excellent copy. I picked this up for the minimum bid, which I think, if I remember rightly, was about £5. But for the original copy in this condition, which is very much near mint, well worth it. Brilliant album though. It was the 7th studio album, like I said. Very much echoed a change in style to a more commercial, slightly new wave type style. So not as deeply space rock as before, not as trippy, but brilliant, brilliant songs. I mean, Damnation Alley is excellent. That's based on Roger Zelazny's book of the same name, which is a great read. There's a good film about that as well. But Quark, Strangeness and Charm itself, Days of the Underground, superb album. Highly recommend it. So, Nick Turner, the sacked Nick Turner. What did he go on to do? Well, he went on to form a band called the Inner City Unit. And this is their first album, Pass Out. This is on Riddle Records. Came out in 1980. This is signed by the band. A lot of the copies that were released were signed by the band. So if you bought a copy back in the day, it was signed by the band. Cover art is by Barney Bubbles, who was a big fan of the band and absolutely superb graphic designer. Unfortunately, had a lot of psychological demons and is no longer with us. But brilliant, brilliant art design, and there's no way Nick would have been able to afford to get this on one of his albums if it hadn't been for the fact he was a mate. But some great stuff on here. I mean, stuff that went on to appear in Hawkwind stuff, or was Hawkwind stuff. So you've got Watching the Grass Grow. There's also a version of Master of the Universe and Brainstorm on here. It's a good album, sort of slightly more punky. As you can tell from the cover, they've gone for that kind of style. So it's 1980, it's kind of post-punk really. But you get the drift. So you've got sort of slightly trippy punk. That's what you get with that one. We had a bit of new wave British heavy metal. Again, this is an album that my brother had, by a band called Quartz. This is Live Quartz. They took the brave move of releasing a live album after only releasing one solo album. Again, you'll notice this is signed. You might be able to notice it's signed. So I've got 3 signatures. Didn't get, where is it, Taffy's, the vocalist's signatures. Well, I didn't. I picked this up from eBay again. It was a minimum bid of about 99 pence, I think. Like I say, my brother had it. It wasn't something I remember particularly liking. It's on the logo label. I think, again, this came out in 1980. It needs a bit of a dust, but I mean, it looks very, very clean. But I do remember liking the track Count Dracula, and I thought, 99 pence. Why not? I don't think the postage cost us that much on top because I picked up a couple of things with it. Covers. Okay, so very good plusish. But records near mint. It's generally sort of second division new wave of British heavy metal. But like I say, Count Dracula's a great track. Do dreadful cover of Roll Over Beethoven on here, and cover of Good Times. No. 99 pence. give it a spin now and again. And the last one is an album from a VC member. And I got this through a slightly different route. So there we go. This is Ultimatum, Puppet of Destruction. So this is Scott Waters. I think everyone knows Scott Waters. I saw on Scott's channel that this was being re-released. Didn't have anything. So I thought, you know what, support a fellow VC member, buy the album. Had a look on the website, and the shipping costs were a little bit steep. I think probably more than the album itself, or about the same price as the album itself. And I thought, touch and go. So got in touch with Scott, and Scott said it was available through a German seller, which I think was Power Records. Can't remember. Power Records, I think. So dropped them an email, said, have you got a copy? And got back to me and said, yep. Shipping was a lot more reasonable. So I took a punt on it. You've probably all seen this with Scott showing it a number of times. But lovely green marbled effect. Vinyl. And another bit of VC memorabilia. This is a poster designed by Andy from Andy Vinyl's Den. So I'm looking forward to giving that a spin. It's just landed, so I haven't given it a listen to it yet. This is number 80 of 150. So I was really pleased to pick that up at quite a reasonable price. It wasn't cheap, but I was quite happy to pay what I paid for it. Like I say, I'm off to Amsterdam for a very long weekend. Go every year for a beer festival over there. Just looking down here because I've got some stuff lying around. I went to see Kraftwerk last week. And this is what the 3D glasses came in. All the 3D glasses are missing from that one. So, Kraftwerk 3D glasses. It was a strange gig. Pleased I went to see them. Would I go and pay the money again? It was 80 quid, which is a lot to go and see. 4 blokes just standing there behind what might have been a keyboard, but could very well have been a games console. They could have been playing Tetris all the time with a CD playing for all I could tell. 3D show was excellent. Pleased I've seen them. Wouldn't go again. I mean, I love Kraftwerk's music. The music was superb. But as a live show, if you charged me a tenner, put it on in an IMAX cinema with the 3D effects and played the CDs, I would have been happier. There you go. That about sums it up. Right, I'm off. Have a shower and get ready for work. I'll catch us all next week. Hopefully I'll have picked something up in Amsterdam if Jill lets us. Okay, bye now.